Hey, I'm Amanda, wife, mother, and follower of Christ, and welcome to the Ducks in a Row podcast. I'm a homeschool mama and entrepreneur, and I have a master's degree in social work with a passion for helping others organize their life. Buckle up for a ride into sharing all I know about time management, productivity, crushing goals, wellness, organizing, and faith. I am so glad you're here, and I hope I can help you get your ducks in a row. Hi friends, I have another new offering for you and I am so excited to share this one with you. It is a quick little 30-minute course on decluttering. It goes through 8 steps and a couple of simple solutions that I have used in my organizing business since 2015. And it is yours for only $14.99. Make sure you go to the show notes and click the link and head there if you're interested. Hey guys, I just wanted to talk to you really quick about my latest offering through Ducks in a Row called virtual organizing. So what is virtual organizing? Well, first we start with a free consult call where we get to know each other and your organizing needs. I will then develop an estimate for organizing your space based on photos and videos that you send me. Once you've agreed, I will begin to develop a very comprehensive outline on how and what to purge from the space and then how to reorganize it. I will also include a vision board for the space, including photos and links to possible products and organizing solutions. Then you do the work and I'm available via voice texting or email to guide you, provide accountability, and answer any and all questions you might have. If this is something that sounds good to you, that you think you might need for your space or for someone you know, be sure to reach out or go to the show notes where I have everything linked. Okay, guys, let's get to the show. Hello, and welcome back to the show. I'm Amanda Roberts, your host of the Ducks in a Row podcast. I am so glad you came back again for another episode. And if you're new here, welcome. Hello. And I am happy you're here. And I hope that you stick around. So I have another really fun guest today, and she'll be joining us in a second. But I am so excited to have all these guests lately, you guys. It has just brought me so much joy and such smiles on my face. I have a couple more coming at you after today's guest. Today's guest has been on the show before, only a couple months ago, as a matter of fact, but we are announcing a really cool and fun thing that we did together, that we collaborated on, and we are going to be launching it today. As a matter of fact, when this episode airs, it will be launched and ready and available for you guys. So we just wanted to get in and chat, or get on here and chat with you guys about that. And so that's what we're going to be doing in this episode. But you guys know her, you love her. It's Jill Koch from Jill Comes Clean. She has been a friend of mine since high school, and we have just recently become closer. And again, if you're not new here, then you know she's been on before, and we have talked. She's actually been on 2 other times. And she's just a good time. All things cleaning, and she does organizing type stuff too on her social media, which is great. She always has great Amazon finds. So she's just awesome to check out in general. So definitely go follow her on Jill Comes Clean on like all the social media outlets that you can think of. But her big baby is Instagram. She's big over there. But we're not going to be talking as much today about, about what she does, and more just giving you a quick little outline on this project that we have been collaborating on. So I'm so excited to share that with you guys. I do have a bit of a nasally, little cold type thing going on. So excuse that sound for today. I'm like, oh, great. When I'm doing this really fun episode, I have to have a little bit of snot in my nose. But you know, what's new? This is how things are, especially in freezing cold March, right? Here in Pennsylvania. So anyway, without further ado, I am so excited to get started on this episode. So enough of my blabbing. I want you all to welcome Jill Koch. Hello, Jill. I am so glad you could join us again. How are you?
Yes, thank you for having me again. I would be on here every day if you had time for me, but I am doing well, thank you.
Good. Good. That makes me laugh because you'd be on here every day. Wouldn't it be funny if people actually could listen to our daily conversations?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, that's true. It is like our own private podcast that we just do personally. We loop in Allison, our friend too, but it basically is what it is.
That is so funny. It'd be really entertaining probably, to be honest.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It would be. We'd probably get ourselves in trouble sometimes, but it'd be good.
I used to joke with my family. This is so funny. My my family is, we're entertaining. And so we always used to joke, like, if there were cameras in our house growing up, like filming us, we would have been famous. We would have been more famous than the Kardashians for reality TV because we're just like cuckoo. So that kind of reminds me of this. Like, if people had an inside scoop on what we talk about every day, that would be a podcast to listen to for sure.
Oh my gosh, it would. I mean, it's the reason reality stuff does so well, because people love to see the like behind the scenes of how like people really live their lives, what they talk about, and all that.
Yes, it is so true. It is so true. And the inappropriateness, which, we don't do any of that, of course.
No, we are so just...
we are buttoned up.
Yes, we're very buttoned up.
Yeah, right. If you knew either of us, you would know. Oh my gosh. Well, anyway, again, thank you for being here again. And in case anybody doesn't know who you are, which I think most people probably do that are listening to this podcast, especially because this is your third time, but just in case, go ahead and just introduce yourself and a little bit about what you do.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So I always feel like I'm like, do I have to reinvent how I say? Because I feel like how long can I keep saying that? Like, I used to be a nurse, I used to be a TV reporter, but it does all lend itself to leading up to where I am today. But so I live in Ohio currently with my husband, my son, my little Pomeranian. But I am like a former news reporter and anchor, and then from there, I became a nurse, did that for a little bit, had my son, and then decided to stay home. That's really the long and short of that. But then once I was home with him in 2015, I started to get a little stir crazy. Like I need a creative outlet, as any, parent knows. And that's really when social media obviously was big at the time. Instagram stories were taking off. Blogs were still popular. So I was like pulling back into my journalism side and, thought I could do this. I'm going to just start sharing because I was home. I was doing things as it was. And that's really what stories are and were then too. Like just sharing your day to day, like we were saying with the reality stuff. So I just started sharing, but it's like I was home and I love to clean and organize. So that's what I was sharing. And I started to just find people were really like, in the same boat. Like, I need to clean my house too. I need to organize my house too. And so they were loving it. They were asking great questions. And so that really just turned into me like niching down my blog, being like, that's what I'm going to, start delivering on, because that's my wheelhouse. That's what I love. So I started the blog, Jill Comes Clean. And then, obviously also do that with social media. And here we are now. And it's just blossomed into this amazing thing. I'm so excited about it.
I know. I love it. I love it. And if you're living under a rock and you don't follow Jill, you need to start, because it is so informative and entertaining. And I always laugh and say, like, I am the type of person that does not enjoy actually cleaning. I mean, I do it every week because I know I have to, but I don't really enjoy it. But I can still enjoy, like, actually, it's more than just enjoyment. Like, Jill kind of like makes you want to clean. You know what I mean? It's like, you watch her content and you get good ideas about little things. So it's well worth it for sure. But
thank you.
Yes. Now I'm having you on today because we have something very exciting to announce. And when you were on, I guess it was a couple months ago now, which it seems like it was 2 weeks ago, but it was literally in January. And this is March. So it's been a couple months, but we did tease a little bit about something that we were collaborating on. So we are so excited about what we are offering about this collaboration. And we just want to share it with you guys a little bit today. So what it is I'll just kind of announce it. We have a couple of quick talking points and Jill's going to explain it as well. But we put together a cleaning schedule bundle, right? Just in time for spring cleaning, by the way, right, Jill?
Yes, we are kicking it off today over on my Instagram, so that's perfect.
Yes, which is seriously perfect, because what this offers you is a bunch of different kind of checklists and schedules on different areas and things to clean and to clutter, by the way. Of course, with my organizing background and Jill's organizing background, obviously, we had to throw some decluttering and some organizing in there too. So we have your bases covered, which is awesome. And this is kind of how this was born. At least I hope this is how this was born in my head. I'm going to let you tune in, Jill, and then you'll let me know. But you had been talking to me, a couple months back, just about how people have kind of asked you, like, well, what kind of schedule do you follow for cleaning? Or, gosh, I just need a so, like almost like they needed to be told sort of what to do, right? Isn't that kind of like what you were getting from your audience? Like how do I do it? When? What needs done? And you can get a lot of that just from following your content. But as we know how social media goes, it's like there and then it's gone, and how do you find it again? And so it's nice to have all of this stuff kind of in one nice bundle that you'll just have at your fingertips, that you can print out when you want, that you can laminate it and use a dry erase to check things off, rather than like trying to scour social media or Google things or whatever. It's just kind of all there, at your fingertips. So she had been talking to me about this, and I was like, well, I love to make schedules. That's my wheelhouse. So why don't I help you with this? Why don't we kind of put our heads together and use your cleaning expertise and my kind of like organizing of time and creating schedules and routines and come up with something. So that is what we did. Does that sum it up pretty good, Jill? I mean, what else do you want to add to that?
Yes, no, that's perfect. What I would add to it is that, everyone knows who's listened before to, I've been on this podcast with you, that you are very much the yin to my yang. Like I'm terrible with time management, and I'm terrible with just like getting sort of things down and done. And so had you not been part of this, it would never have happened, because I would have just kept procrastinating and putting it off. But you were like, we're doing this, done, because that's exactly what I needed. So that's perfect. But also then you bringing in the decluttering side is crucial, because there's no sense in cleaning around the stuff we don't need. So it's like, first, let's get rid of the junk and the stuff we don't need. And then now we have a clean canvas to clean.
Yes.
But yes, people for the longest time have been asking for cleaning schedules, because I think we all just sort of love like a guide, and there's obviously everybody's situation is going to be different, and you can ebb and flow with it. But this is really just a good, I would say, blueprint for homes, obviously, even though they'll be different, but it's really geared toward everyone. And the thing I really struggled with the most over the years, and why I never really put out cleaning schedules that I loved, I think was because I was looking for a one size fits all schedule. And the older I've gotten, the busier we become, I just have finally realized that does not exist. There is not a one size fits all, because everybody's busy is different. Everybody's house is different. Everybody's lifestyle. So that was, I think, what I love so much about this bundle, is that we're offering really a schedule for every type of cleaner. So hopefully there will be something to, fit your needs.
Absolutely.
Listener.
And I want to add to that, even in different seasons of our lives, because I have we'll go over what this includes, but I just wanted to add on to that. You can, 1 week or 1 month or 1 year, you might be doing one of the cleaning schedules, and then something might change in your life, and you might find that oh, this schedule actually fits better for my life right now. So what's nice is when you get these bundles, you'll have them all. There isn't just one or the other. You're going to get all of them. And that way you can, well, the other beautiful thing about that is you can even see what works for you, because maybe you don't even know yet. Maybe you're like, oh yeah, I like to clean all in one day, but maybe you don't. Maybe that's why you're not cleaning. Maybe that's why you're procrastinating with it or not getting it done, because you're not a clean all in one day person. You need to spread it out, or vice versa. So that's what's the beauty about this, and having them all together. The other nice thing that you mentioned I wanted to bring up again is decluttering before you clean. So that's obviously, these decluttering schedules are also included, and we do recommend doing that first, because just like you said, Jill, it doesn't make sense to clean stuff when you've got too much stuff sitting around. So that's why these are really nice, and 'tis the season for that as well. So I know we're getting into spring cleaning, but honestly, decluttering is really part of that. And I've been talking about that a lot here on my podcast and on my social media platforms as well. This month is kind of gearing up for the spring cleaning and starting with the decluttering. So it is just definitely so important.
Yeah. And I would say too, if somebody, if you're listening to this and you're like, oh no, I'm really now in the mood to clean, but I didn't really do the decluttering step. I'd really say they're really a 1-2 step. That's the nice thing, because say you're going to go clean your, kitchen cabinets. So this is a great time to, before you go through, take everything out. You're going to take everything out anyway, if you're going to give it a thorough wipe down or whatever. So take everything out, declutter quick, and then clean it, wipe it down, put everything back in an organized way. So don't feel like you have to first declutter declutter everything and then clean. I mean, yes, sometimes that does work. But if you haven't started and you want to knock it all out now, that's a great way to do it.
Yes, that's such a good point. Such a good point. And honestly, that it does save time. It saves time to just sort of get started in the one area and go through. And then the nice thing about it is, though, when you go to refer to these cleaning schedules again, even after spring cleaning is over, because they are timeless, which is another beautiful thing. Yes, we're launching them here at spring cleaning, but they are timeless. And the idea is for you to be able to use them over and over again. But as you use them over and over again on a weekly or monthly basis, you don't necessarily have to declutter every time. I mean, maybe, I know those of us with kids, if we're like doing the playroom or something, you're probably going to have to declutter almost every time. But yes, it'll be kind of a once and done for spring cleaning. And then you'll always have that decluttering checklist though, too, for when you are going to do that periodically throughout the year or what have you. So,
right. And that's what I love about it. I love an evergreen solution that will always work and stick around. And like you said earlier, this will ebb and flow because there's definitely seasons of life where you can do everything in one weekend and then seasons change, you have kids, jobs change, whatever. And then you're like, now I need to really do a little every day.
Yep.
So having that guideline too, to get you started on a new routine when you're maybe used to something else is, I think, going to be key to just helping you create those habits.
Yes, so much. And I got to say, I am actually really excited to use these because I personally, like I said earlier, I don't like the act of cleaning, but I'm obsessed with having a clean house. Like, how annoying is that? Like, Jill, at least you love cleaning and you're obsessed with having a clean house. But for me, it's like, and here I am, Miss Schedule Queen, love routines, but I haven't even, I kind of apply it. I do try to clean all in one day, but I don't like that, and I know I don't like that. So I'm like, I am going to really try these and actually do it and see if that works better for my life. And so that's what's just so nice about them, is because you can try something new, or you might think that you've been so good at this all along. But if you're somebody that doesn't like cleaning, it honestly might just be because you don't like the routine that you've picked for it. There could be something else out there and you could be like, oh my gosh, this is made my dreams come true. That's really what I'm hoping for.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Same. I thought that as I was printing them out, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to test because I'm going to try a new one now, because I am really the perfect example of how it really changes over the years. I used to always do it on the weekends. Then I had my son. And for the past year, I would say I've really tried to do a little every day. And I have just found that I cannot keep up with it. Yeah. So it was actually you, Amanda, who said well, what about if you space it out over 2 weeks, which there's no shame in that. Half of the stuff, with the exception of the toilets or, the things you use all the time, the bathrooms or whatever, most stuff does not need to be cleaned all the time. Once you do it really well, it'll be good for 2 weeks.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I'm so excited to test that out, because I think for me, it's I need to space it better.
Yes.
And so I feel good about sticking with this one.
Yes. And I love, so your quickie cleans, which again, if you follow Jill on Instagram, I'm obsessed with the quickie cleans, because that's honestly what I do anyway. Even on a weekly basis.
Yeah, it's good enough,
It is. And so what's nice about that, though, is that this is meant to kind of tackle the deeper, right? We have it spaced out so that you can actually do it well. You know what I'm saying? And really kind of, I wouldn't call it some of the things are deep clean, but it's meant to be done thoroughly. Maybe is a better word. But what's really great is if you are choosing the, every other week one, then those quickie cleans in between, you see a spot in the sink, you get that little brush out that Jill's always using, and get in there and get that out. And so, you're able to maintain it so much better, but also have the peace of mind that okay, my my baseboards aren't super dusty, because you are still doing that every now and then, or all those other things that are a little bit more involved. But then you're just maintaining with the quickie clean, which is awesome. I love that.
Yes. And it buys you time in between the deep cleans. It's you'll start to notice, you're well, heck, the quickie clean really did it for the most part. I don't have to do a deep clean for longer than I thought.
Yes, so, it does, which is so great. Definitely. And you can certainly use these schedules for quickie cleans too. That's what's nice about it. It gives you a guide of where you're going and what you're doing. But if you need to just only spend 10 or 15 minutes on it instead of 45 or an hour, then do that. It's flexible that way, which is really great.
Exactly.
So let's just quickly go over before we wrap up, because yes, this was meant to be, Jill and I can talk all day, of course, like we already discussed. But this was meant to just sort of be a quick little explanation of what these are. So before we do wrap it up, let's just kind of talk quickly about them. So we did a room by room, a task by task, and then a weekender. So those three are kind of like the themes. So if you're a room by room person, you go from one room to the next, cleaning everything in that room before moving on. If you're a task by task, you do all the task for the entire house, essentially, or maybe your top floor and then your bottom, however you want to divvy it up. But you do the whole task throughout the space, and then you go to the next task and the next task. And then the weekender is for those who are super busy through the week and working a 9 to 5 and have kids and they're in sports, and you just literally don't have time through the week, even to just tackle little things every day. So that is a Friday, Saturday, Sunday breakdown. And then the cool thing about the room by room and the task by task is, like we were saying earlier, there's one that gives you that outline for 1 week. So you'd be doing all the things every week. And then the other one is every other week. So week 1, you have a list, and then week 2 is something different. And then you repeat that after that. And that, like I said, is for room by room and task by task. And then Jill, you put together a bunch of checklists. So what did they look like?
Yes. So I, a while back, did a spring cleaning checklist that I, this time was like, oh, I'm going to go revisit it. And when I looked, I was like, no, actually, this still all holds true. So we just sort of, spiffed it up a bit. But yeah, it's really going through your home by home. And obviously, some areas might be a little different. And then there's some blank spaces to write in if I've left anything off. But that's really a good thorough, the main ones that we're talking about are sort of for, like Amanda said, daily or weekly. But this is sort of print out the spring cleaning checklist. And from now through, heck, some of the stuff only needs to be done once a year. So you can just do it whenever you have time. Other stuff, maybe every 6 months. So you just print it and check it off whenever you have an extra, some extra time in your week somewhere. It's a great thing to keep nearby, look at it and be like, oh, you know what? I do have time today to, clean out the inside of my car. Right. And then you do it and check it off. But that's the spring cleaning one. And then there is more of, I call it like at a glance, this like ultimate cleaning schedule. Then that one there is going to have an area for you to write in your daily stuff. Then there's also the weekly things, but then that also has like a little snippet of like the things that you should do monthly or when you can get to it. And then every 6 months. So changing, the every 6 month stuff is obviously going to be like maybe your windows or flipping the mattress, cleaning the mattress, changing filters, but just those things to keep on your radar. But that's sort of nice if you just want one sheet that houses like a little bit of everything.
Yes, that's amazing. And I love those because I'm constantly finding things in my own house and I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to clean that. And it's been so long that I'm like, oh, that's gross. But like, you don't even sometimes you just don't think about everything. Like it's sometimes impossible to like truly think of everything. So it's so nice to have a list where you can go and refer to that every now and then, like be like, oh, what haven't I cleaned in a year or two? Oh yeah, I should probably do that.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Those are,
and it's so satisfying
it
to
is
see
so
it like, a couple months in, you'll look and be like, wow, look at how much I did. Because again, I think having the list, you really see what you've done or what's left to do. And, and I think too, there's a notion, like, especially with spring cleaning of like, we got to get this all done in a month. And I'm like saying, forget that, space this out, do most of this when you can get to it. It'll be a lot easier and more enjoyable.
Exactly. Don't stress yourself out about getting it all done. I mean, a lot of people don't do it at all because it is so overwhelming. So it's better to space it out over the course of a couple months than not do it at all,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And I also recommend, and I actually kind of just thought of this when we were talking about the ultimate list. What's really cool is on these other decluttering ones that I was explaining, like the room by room and task by task, like when it says kitchen, dining room, pantry, it gives a list of what to do in there. But what's really cool is to cross-reference that with the ultimate list. So if you're in that room, check the ultimate list and be like, okay, what's it say in here? Like what's in this room? Like you said about changing filters or even ceiling fans. I don't know how often that would be. I mean, that probably should be more than I do it. But like to have that there also, to like kind of working together, as like a cross reference to make sure you actually are checking off everything in that area and not just doing the quickie clean every time.
Right.
You know?
Yes, that's perfect. Yeah, I agree with that. That's great.
Yes, wonderful. So these are so cool and we are so excited. It has been, a little while in the making. So for us, we're like super excited to finally get these in your hands. So we are so excited about that. But they are live as of when this podcast will be airing. And I am obviously going to be putting the link here in the show notes for you all to go. And they are going to be housed on Jill's blog website. So you can head there for them. And also, if not in these show notes, obviously Jill and I will be talking about it on Instagram.
Yeah, for sure.
And, for a while. And I will probably continue to keep them linked here actually in the show notes as the months go on, as I typically do anyway. So they're here, they're available, they'll be available. Like we've said, they're evergreen. So they're always going to be there, and you can continue to print them out too, as many times as you need them. So exciting. Is there anything else that you wanted to add, Jill?
No, I don't think so. You nailed it. You covered it all. But yes, I'm so excited again, even for just us to use them and implement them. But It'll be good to have on hand. I feel happy that we finally have something that really can work across the board for people. That was our goal. And I think we did it.
I think so too. All right. Well, that is going to be it. So thank you guys so much. And thank you again, Jill, for being on. And I'll be thinking of some reason to have you on again soon.
Yeah. I know. We'll come up with something once, 1 or 2 months have gone by.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks again. And we'll see you later.
Bye.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that little chat. I know I did. Anytime Jill and I chat, it's the best. So I really hope you enjoyed it. And I hope that everything that we talked about was clear and you can understand what we are offering. And we're just so excited to offer these to you guys. They are really affordable. And so it's like just a really nice little thing to get your hands on. But I did also want to say, let either one of us know if you have any questions. And I thank you again for tuning in. And don't forget to live your life with passion and gratitude. All right, bye. Thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. I really hope you subscribe and share with your friends. And don't forget to tag me on social media when you do. Always remember, lead your life with passionate gratitude. God bless. Until next time.